You a big ass baby.
I'm not
Your grandma did that to you, and yes, I gave her my whole life for you. I was 17 when I had you.
That's your fault.
I was 17 when I had you.
Brought to this
I didn't ask to have you.
Okay, then
but I did what I had to do to make sure you was good. You ain't never lacked nothing. You ain't never lacked nothing in your whole life.
Just because you give me everything, that doesn't mean anything.
I gave you my life.
You didn't give me your life.
I gave you my life. Everything. I gave you everything. You ain't lacked nothing. Clearly, you ain't missed a meal. You everything. Everything.
Live pretty well by yourself.
What's good, YouTube? It's your man CJ checking in once again, back with another video. Now, the video you just saw was actually very sad. It was very sad, but it was also very telling. Now, I've been a nurse for almost 5 years, and I've ran across several people, especially women in particular, when they see me, either A, they automatically assume I don't or I have kids, or B, they figure that I'm going to be having them very soon. Now, why, you may be asking? Well, probably because I have my ish together. I have a career. I work very hard. People see me work very hard, and they just probably figure that naturally that would be the next thing to do, and that, you know, they will, and what they will perceive as the natural progression of life. With that being said, I tell people when they ask, because they typically always do, they'll say, well, do you have any kids? Oh, you must got kids. And I'll reply, no, I don't. Then the next question will usually be, do you want any kids? When you gonna have some kids? And I say, well, I'm not. I don't plan on having any kids. Now, understand this. My lady and I have discussed this a million times over, and we have come to the conclusion that we don't want kids. Now, if it happens, you know, by accident, or some sort of faith, or some, not faith, but some sort of act of God, then it is what it is. But as of, you know, we don't want none. And people will be like, well, what's wrong? Are you emotionally scarred? Are you traumatized? Are you this? Are you that? And they just, a lot of people can't grasp it. And I'm not the type of person to shove what I believe and what I want down people's throat. But when you tell somebody after they ask if you want, you know, after they ask if you want kids or not, and you say no, that is just so hard for people to understand. That is so hard for people to grasp. That is so hard for people to believe that. And then they'll ask you why. They'll ask you why. And I honestly give them my reasons. Reason number one, I love life. I love my freedom. I love having the autonomy of my schedule. I love being able to pick up and go where I want to go. I love to be able to just say, hey, babe, get dressed. We finna go to Puerto Rico for the weekend. Or get dressed. We finna go take a 12-day cruise. Or get dressed. We finna go do this. Or get dressed. We finna do date night. It is what it is. Now, am I no means saying that kids are not a good thing, kids are not a blessing, kids are not a beautiful thing? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that one bit. But what I will say is that they are a blessing, they are a gift to the people that want them. Do you feel what I'm saying? I'm an individual that don't want them. Like I just gave y'all the reasons before. And another reason on top of that, the way this world is set up today, I wouldn't want to bring a child into this. This world is cold. We are in a heck of a spiritual warfare right now. And I'm good on introducing a child that didn't ask to be here to that. Now, if it's in God's will, then let his will be done. But it's definitely not in my will. I am 100% and completely happy with my life. You know what I'm saying? Even with the ups and the downs. But I'm happy with my life. People say that's selfish, and so be it. I'll be that. But to me, I think it's selfish when you choose to bring children into a world and you can't afford to take care of them. You constantly relying on other people to take care of them, and you really didn't want them to begin with. And you gotta understand, people have children for all kind of reasons. People have children before they're ready, and people have children before they know that they're even able to financially take care of it. Just like that woman you saw in the video, she said, I gave up my whole life for you. I gave up my whole life for you. And she said it with anger. She said it with resentment. She said it with disappointment and hurt. I don't know under what circumstances that she had the child under, but the man said he didn't ask to be here. And that is 100% true. And sometimes children are born for crazy reasons. Sometimes some women are SA'd and they have a children in that aspect. And that's totally different than what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are just having all kind of random sex, unprotected, and not taking the precautions that's necessary to prevent having a child if you really don't want one. I've ran into several people who have told me that they regret having children. And if I was a child and I heard my parents say that, or that got out, I would feel heartbroken, because again, I didn't ask to be here. And there's so many people that have given up their lives to raise children. And they brought them into this world, so you should. Children didn't ask to be here. They change your life. They change your marriage. And here's something that a lot of people don't like to admit. Now, I'm saying in some aspects and not all. But when you are married and you have kids, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes it can put a hindrance on a relationship. You working hard, your woman may be working hard, or she could be a house mom taking care of the kids. She's stuck at home all day. She done dealt with a baby for 12 hours while you at work. You as the man, you get home, you're tired. You don't want to make love to your wife because you done been at work 16 hours and you come home to a screaming baby. That is a part of parenthood that a lot of people don't talk about. A lot of people have to take into consideration. Again, I'm not saying that being a parent is a terrible thing. I think it's a wonderful thing if that's what you want to do. I don't think you should let the world force you into having children, because it's so funny. Because if you go all on the internet, when you see a married couple that are childless and that are voluntarily childless, everybody and their mama got something to say. But when you see people that have children all willy-nilly, can't afford to take care of them, on constant government assistance, well, that's almost as if it's normal, as if it's accepted. But people just can't grasp it when, especially a man that's got it going on for himself, that got his career, that wants to be with a woman, and that later wants to make that woman his wife. If he says that, you know what, I don't want to have children, I want a woman that doesn't want to have kids, and I just want to enjoy my life with my wife, or vice versa. It is almost in a lot of cases that, oh, you're just selfish. Why? Why am I selfish? Because I want to enjoy my life with my wife, or she wants to enjoy her life with her husband. Not saying that you ain't gonna go through stuff, and not saying that you're gonna have a perfect life with or without children. But what is wrong with somebody wanting to simply just enjoy their life with their spouse? I don't see anything wrong with that. And I've seen all kind of people make all kind of videos on what's wrong with that. You're selfish, something is mentally wrong with you, you are obligated. There is nothing in the Bible that says that it is against God to not have children. It doesn't say that. Some people can't even have kids due to medical reasons, but it doesn't say anything about not wanting to have kids. Nothing. Not that I know of, and I could be wrong. I'm not a Bible expert, but I could be wrong. But besides that, I don't see what the big deal is. And I would never want to be like that woman in the video, resenting a child that didn't ask to be here. Some people play games when it comes to having kids. Having a kid is not a game. It's a very important life decision, and you need to be careful, and you need to really understand and really need to figure out if that is something that you truly want to do. That is why I encourage all the people that want to be nurses, especially all the people with no kids and that's young. Listen, before you decide to make that choice to have a child, get yourself together. There is no handbook for raising a kid. There is no handbook. There is no perfect plan to raise a kid. But I'll say this. You want to be as prepared as possible, which means having yourself at least financially together if you can afford it. It's a lot of people having kids and don't have a job. Now, what sense do that make? You can't even afford to take care of them. That's selfish, if you ask me. You feel me? Grandma should not have to give up her life to take care of her child's children. You feel me? Because they wasn't responsible enough to put themselves in order before having one. How is that fair? It's not. It's not fair. And it's very unfair. That's just like if I depend on my mama or my daddy to raise my kid because I'm in a position to where I chose to have one for whatever selfish reason, and I know I can't take care of it. And I know a lot of people probably won't like this video, and that's cool, and I'm cool with that. But if you a young man or a young woman and you don't want to have kids and you want to get married and you want to spend your life with your husband or your wife, then by all means, do it. There's nothing wrong with it. You ain't hurting nobody. You living your best life and you having a good time. If you are somebody that wants children, then do it. But make sure you are at least as prepared as possible. Fellas, if you're going to go out here and have a kid, make sure your career is on point. Make sure that you can afford to take care of a family off your salary alone for the best results. You feel me? Make it as easy as possible for your wife, especially if you're going to be the primary breadwinner, because I'm telling you, sitting there 12 hours with a kid all day, every day is not easy. You feel me? So let's try to be prepared as possible. But I would hate to be in a situation like how that young man and how that woman was, and she down talking her child like that, talking about something, I gave up my life for you, and no daddy around. And that's crazy. We really got to be careful with who we having children by. Ladies, you got to really start vetting these dudes that you let shoot your club up. A lot of the times I hear so many stories of these women having kids with dudes in jail with no job, no career, no aspirations, no nothing. The only qualification that he had was that he was cute. No, sir. That's not going to cut it no more. It's 2023. People can barely afford eggs. He better be bringing something more than cute to the table before you decide to have his baby. I'm trying to tell you. And a lot of y'all, man, listen, I've heard old women say they're going to try to trap a dude to make him be with them. Old women, 50, 60, not old, but older women in their 50s, 40s, talking crazy like that, and will talk to younger girls like that. Man, that's wild. That's wild in a mug. But anyway, that's really all I got to say about this. Hit that like, comment, subscribe button, and I'm gonna holler at you in a minute. Peace.